Hey everybody, welcome to my 5th out of 50 projects. Built so far my best project ever. A time-sensitive one, so I definitely, before I even begin explaining it, encourage you to try it out because Super Bowl is about a week away. If you don't know who I am or what I do, each week I plan to release a new app using no-code tools as a part of my self-imposed 1550 challenge, and you can see all prior app demos on this YouTube channel. But let's go back to this project and answer my usual questions and talk a little bit more about the inspiration behind building the Super Bowl props app. So again, as usual, I'm going to talk about why I decided to build an app that I did, then present you how does it work through a demo, talk a little bit about the tech stack, things that I did for the first time ever, and things that I plan to improve, challenges that I faced. And I gotta say, this was one of the easiest ones that I built, even though it was pretty complex. And then the final score. So for starters, one of the main reasons why I built this app is one of the few traditions that I used to have with my friends when I lived back in Chicago is like we would meet on a Super Bowl day and then write a list of all the interesting Super Bowl prop bets and just bet on them for fun. But ever since that I've moved, I'm not able to do that with them anymore. So to continue the tradition, I've thought about potentially like building an app that not just a couple of us, but the whole world could use. Select the interesting prop bets that they would like to bet on and play with friends with just no cash, just bragging rights, right? And 72 hours later, SuperProps was born. So the way SuperProps works is pretty simple. You'll see a demo in a second, but for starters, users come in and create their accounts, right? Obviously. And then from there, they can decide to join or create a group of their own. It could be friends, it can be fully open to the public. They can specify the number of members, the name of the group, set the betting limits, the way people would join. And then in the next step, select the props that they would like to wager on. So they can range from game or player related props to entertainment and obviously Taylor Swift props as well. And then once this step is completed by the group admin, they can start again inviting people to join in. Or if they're open, anybody can just click to join, which again, I'm going to demonstrate both use cases in a second. From there, people would see all the props, place their bets, and the betting will end. It has a hard cutoff time, 2 hours before the game. And then from there, everybody would get to just enjoy, watch the game, and then follow the leaderboard just to see how they stack up against their friends in their group. Balances would settle automatically, and then in the end, we would have a winner as well. It's very simple, but very complex, and again, extremely, extremely fun build. And I'm going to walk you through both the admin and the user side of things. And because this is a mobile first app for mobile devices, we're going to watch one of the users in Lovable indirectly in the IDE where it was built on mobile, and another one in the on the desktop, which is the admin, so that you can see me actually tweaking the answers. So let's start off with this one first, right? Let's say you're a new user, you're on mobile, and you're like, man, I love it, right? This is the idea behind it, right? There's a few examples of prop bets listed here that you can see. Some of the basic ones: who's going to be the game winner, who's going to be the MVP, will Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift get engaged, stuff like that, right? A little bit more information about the Super Bowl and some of the historical context. Again, the most popular Swift Kelce prop bets listed. Just the basics. I feel like again the landing page itself looks neat. Considering that it's never my priority to design these things, I really liked it. So the first step, obviously, before you can join a group, you need to sign up and create your account. I'm probably going to take off the phone number requirement at this step because I honestly don't need it. I thought initially that I may need it to process invites, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to just fill out this form and create an account real quick. And so I pre-filled the form again, username, full name, phone number, email and password. Pretty simple stuff, right? Then we click to create an account. We're going to go and check the email verification for a second. This is the type of email you would get. Obviously, going to fix this contrast. There's going to be a couple of bugs here and there with these types of things, but I don't care much about it. So when you click to confirm your email address, you should be taken back to the login screen. Now, because I'm doing this in parallel builds, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back inside here. So I'm going to verify my email and then go back to Lovable just to show you how things work. Your email's been verified. You just got to go back to the authentication screen and switch from sign up to sign in, input your information and sign in from there, right? So I'm going to add this as my password as well. And then from there, you have, this same interface, but you can access a couple of more pages. Most importantly, you can see your profile, right? Which shows you the amount of credits. Every user starts with 1,000 credits, your username and any groups that you're a part of. So since I haven't joined any, I can go and browse groups, right? And in that setting, I would be transferred over to the groups menu. From here, there's two options that I can take. One is to join an existing group if there's an open public group, or create one, right? So for the purpose of all players that want to join in with me, I've created 5 groups already that are open to public, have 50 members max and 110 credits, so that I know that you can bet on all the props. There's 100 props total. So in all props, if you join all props, you will have to pretty much spend all of your credits that you have at your disposal. But anyways, you can join any of these groups, just a single click. There's another way, which would allow you to join using an invite code, which we're going to test out right now as well. Or you can create a group, right? When you go to group creation mode, all you have to do is say that you want to specify a group name, description, and its visibility and maximum number of members. So we're going to create a demo test group right now. And I'm going to just do it one-on-one. So I'm going to have 2 accounts that are sort of working with each other. And it's going to be a private group that's an invite only. And I'm going to lock it to 2 members. And the bet amount will be 10 credits, right? So when I create the group, the next step, as I mentioned, is actual selection of the props, right? So in this particular case scenario, we're just going to pick a couple. And these are the most popular ones. These are just game-related, player-related, entertainment, and all props. If you're on desktop, you'll be able to see it. I want to say that, it's best if an admin is on desktop that sets this up. Then later the users coming in can sort of join in and participate on mobile very easily. So I'm just going to use 2 bets for the purpose of testing, because I got to reset all this back to 0. And I'm going to confirm selection, right? So we have 2 bets that me and my friend want to bet on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to that friends side of things, right? So I'm just switching the screen to the production stage from Lovable, where I'm logged in, where I'm going to log in using a different account, actually. So I'm going to sign in with the main admin account for the whole app over here. And as I'm also starting with 1,000 credits. I already had a private group created for a different purpose, which you can see when you go to my groups, right? If you have a group created, you will now be able to see them. And you will have this option of inviting your friends. So you can share an invite code with somebody. They would just go to join the group and enter the invite code, right? So if we go back here, it just logged me out for a second. So let's sign back in using the main email address that I use over here. If we go back to that person's group, they have the ability to invite friends via email or via sign-up code. We can, just so that I can show you the email side of things, let's just invite the main admin to join us in this group. And you can again have your friends either join via email or just they would need to create an account, and then when they go to join group, they would only need to input this code 6443, and it would put them into the group immediately. But the reason why I want to test this out and show you this is because this is enabled by a thing that I did for the first time. This is a new integration enabled by the Lovable team using resend. So I was able to set up a custom SMTP custom edge function that now sends all of these email invites. I'm going to go to my inbox in a second and just show you the invite itself. So as you can see here clearly, I've been invited to join the demo test group. If I click to join the group, it will automatically send me over there, over to the group itself, right? And as you can see, because I'm logged in with this profile, I've just been made member of the demo test group a second ago, and I can go to the group itself and start placing bets, right? So let's do this. I'm just going to place 2 bets from this account, right? And I can see those bets being placed in your bets channel, in your bets tab, right? I can also go to the group bets and see that the person that's with me has not even started betting, and the only bets that are in here are my bets, right? I can't see any of the results because the game did not play yet, right? And in the standings itself, it is clear that I've spent 20 credits. I'm yet to win any, so I'm down 20 credits, whereas this guy never placed bets, so his total credit amount is at 1,000. Now that's going to change in a second. So let's go back to on this side, on this screen, and go to view the group, right? So right now I can see that me and my opponent are in the group, and now I'm supposed to place bets, right? And I'm going to place these 2 bets, for example, and I can again see them in here. And when I switch over to group bets, there's a bug. So let's see what that's all about in a second. It's probably the fact that I'm logged in using multiple profiles. Yep, so all good. We can see that now both players placed bets. If we go to the results, there's nothing, and we can see both players having the same amount of credits, right? So from here, the logical next step would be that the game is in motion, the game is played, and the scores get adjusted in real time. Now, it's easy to use an API when you have real scores in a real game. Now, this is SuperProps that are pretty custom. So instead of going the API route or anything like that, I've decided to make it super simple and made myself a super admin. So with one of the accounts, I have access to an admin board that is source of truth for all the answers. So we asked 2 questions. Which team will win the coin toss and Saquon Barkley's rush number of yards? So I'm going to just take these 2, right? And just go back to my main profile, that's the admin, and navigate to the admin side of things. So the only thing that I would need to do is type in admin. Obviously, nobody else can do it except me. And as we said, the 2 bets we placed were rush yards of Saquon Barkley and the coin toss. So if we say that these are the answers, I can just specify them during the game and save changes. And once that loads, once I have a confirmation that they loaded completely, that should now reset the actual results. So if we go back to my groups and then go back to the demo where I'm having this bet, I can see that as this user, I actually won both of these, right? Now, if we go back to this other user, we can see that they lost both of these, right? Both of their bets indicate that. Group bets don't show anything, but if we click to see the answers, we can see what the answers were. Finally, if we go to the results, you can see results of your bets, like as a total, right? Same thing would be available for the other user too, right? And then finally, the standings, right? One of the users lost 20 credits, the other one won 20 credits, and as we can see, this user is currently winning by, or in this case, would have won this particular betting game. So that's all there is to it. Like, again, it is very simple, but I feel it was super complicated to build, but it works pretty much without any bugs. I'm extremely happy with the way it looks and flows, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory. There could be some additional filters coming in, like if we had 50 players posting across 50 props, it would be impossible to see all the group bets. So I may add some filtering logic in here, and some search options to see maybe a particular prop. But overall, on a smaller scale, the project, as you could see from the demo, works with no issues whatsoever. If we talk about the tech stack, it's pretty usual, pretty common on my side. Lovable for front-end design, Supabase for backend, and then Resend for email invites and authentication. Like that, I'm pretty proud of myself for using a third-party tool like that. I've never done that before. Again, I would bookmark this app to your home screen and use it as an app on your mobile devices, because once you're finished with the admin side of things, you can see that all of these things are super easy to navigate from mobile, and therefore I would recommend it as being a mobile app sort of a thing first. And then one of the reasons I want to say why I think this was such a successful project for me is that at every step along the way, Lovable wanted to expand on every single feature, build it in this very complex manner, as if something that was supposed to be very small is all of a sudden supposed to be very big and important. So the biggest takeaway for me is like, make it simplify things. When it lists all the things that it needs to do, ask it if it can be even simpler. Ask it like, do I really need all of this? Can you just make this work first and then build on top of that, right? So aside from Resend that I already mentioned, using for the first time ever to set up a custom SMTP, I also for the first time ran SQL scripts to preload data with all the props and a lot of other things. So that was a lot of fun. I've set up an admin route without actually adding an additional role, which made the build so much simpler. I also did some coding myself too for the first time. So I actually started writing some basic stuff in GitHub. Mostly design related, but it's a big shift compared to where I was a month ago. I did this a number of times before, but for the first time in this challenge, I've hooked my project onto Google Analytics and Google Search Console. I really expect this one to get a lot of traction, a lot of traffic. Things that I may improve by the time Super Bowl kicks off, so I got only a couple of days to do it really, is update the list of prop bets, maybe just make a couple of tweaks or changes. I may do it, I may not. If you find any last minute bugs and report them to me, I'd be very grateful and very willing and motivated to work on them. I want to build more marketing pages, because I kind of feel like, these are going to be well searched items, and I already started building out the blog, as you can see here, talking about props, talking about everything, having related posts. Like I basically made a combination between GitHub and Lovable, building a CMS system for me, which again, I haven't done before using this setup. It was so easy. And I can just keep on dumping as many articles as I want really fast and really easy. And then finally, I want to test some edge case with credit distribution logic, because there's always going to be an issue if there's 50 players and the pot gets really big. I'm not 100%. It's not been tested. The app hasn't been tested at volume because there was no way to do it so fast. Started building it on Tuesday. It was done by Friday. So yeah, 3 days pretty much. I had almost no challenges building it. Like I approached this build with a lot of discipline and never allowed myself to get carried away by design until I made the app work. Again, if anybody had a chance to watch any of my videos on how I'm building things, that is the core principle that I have. Like do not code principles and the codes regarding building a strong foundation before you actually start designing. The only issues I had were minor UI issues, and they were nothing out of the ordinary. Like you just saw one with the email, uh, text color not being good. I mean, I can fix that in a second. Um, Therefore, I'm very happy to give myself a 9 out of 10 on this one. Um, Everything works. It's bare bones. The design was never a priority, but the functionality was, and everything works on small scale. Like I don't know how this scales to 50,000 people. I don't know if it can even. I don't know what my limits are on my database or my email capabilities. On the landing page side, I mean, I did everything that I wanted to. It's again 9 out of 10, considering that I have everything that I do. It could have been a 10 out of 10 if I just had a little bit more time to, like, say, focus a little bit more on the design. But again, that's not my priority. My priority is to build apps that work. And if you want to have fun this Super Bowl, and have some, side bets with your friends, create or join a group, share it with people, and enjoy the game. I will see you in 7 days with the next app, and until then, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And watch somebody with worse audio demos than you would ever record. And yeah, keep shipping.